Hey there, it's Kara McLaughlin, certified personal trainer in Hamilton, Ontario. Um, I help beginner and reluctant exercisers to create lasting and permanent change in their positive changes in their fitness habits. And this is my first Facebook Live video, so I hope it goes okay. Forgive me if there's any technical issues, I'm still working it out. But I'm really excited to get going with Facebook Live. I have a lot of exciting things I want to talk to you about in this space, and today I'm going to kick it off by talking about one of my absolute favorite topics, which is how do we actually create positive change in our lives. And of course, being a personal trainer, I'm going to focus on how we create positive change in our health and fitness habits. So first, we know how we don't create change, right? We don't create change by making New Year's resolutions. We know it doesn't work. 92% of the time, people are not going to be successful with their New Year's resolutions, 92%. And yet we make them every year, again and again and again, right? Did you make any? Put your hand up if you made any New Year's resolutions. I didn't, because I know they don't work. But I know most people do. And it's just every year I think we feel so hopeful, optimistic. This is the year I'm going to make real change in my life and what I really want it. And every year we say, I want to lose weight, I'm going to get fit. If you're smoking, I want to stop smoking. Please don't smoke. And every year then people are not successful, and yet the next year they make the same resolution again. Obviously, if you're making the same resolution again and again, it's something you want to see happening in your life. You wouldn't keep saying, I want to lose weight every year if you didn't really want to lose weight. People honestly want this change in their life. I know they do. I've worked with lots of people. They want the change. They're so hopeful, and it doesn't happen, and then it just breaks their heart again and again. So let's stop making resolutions, okay? Let's resolve to stop making resolutions bad. Okay, so what does work? How are we going to create that permanent change that we want to see happen in our lives? Well, what does work is habits. I know it sounds really boring, but it's true. Daily habits determine your future success. There's a quote by John Maxwell, who's a pretty well-known personal development guru type of guy. He's been around for quite a long time. And he says, you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. That sums it up. And that's what habits are all about. That's why people aren't successful. People say, I want to lose 20 pounds. How does that translate to any kind of specific daily action? They might say, oh, I got to eat less. I need to exercise more. That's usually about as far as we go. We carry that guilt around. I need to eat less. I need to exercise more. But how? You know, there's nothing for your brain to latch onto there. If we start to use the power of our brain, there's a way we can do that. But we have to know how to make our brain work for us rather than against us, okay? So no matter what your situation is right now, you're thinking, oh my God, Karen, I have the worst habits ever, okay? Like, all these bad things come to mind that you know you're doing that are just shooting yourself in the foot. You know it's not good, but you just can't seem to stop doing the things you know aren't good and start doing other things you know would be more positive. Well, the good news is all habits are malleable. All habits are malleable. This is supported by research. It means any habit can be changed. You might find that hard to believe if you've been struggling with a bad habit for a really long time, but science proves this is really true. All habits can be changed. Even brutal stuff like addictions to drugs, to alcohol, to gambling, I mean, that's pretty heavy stuff, and it's way beyond my scope of what I'm going to talk about here, but even it's possible to change that stuff. it's darn hard. Yeah, I'm not saying it's easy, but even those things can be changed. So it's never impossible. Am I saying it's going to be easy? No. Keep listening and I'll explain more. But I'm just saying no matter what your situation is, you can change it. And that starts with that belief that we can change. If you don't believe you can change, how are we going to change? So I believe you can change. Everyone can change. You've got to commit to change, yes, but it's possible. So we can use habits to literally reprogram our brain. That's the exciting part. Like you are literally getting in here and creating new programs. So if it's true, if we can reprogram our brain, why is it so hard and so few people seem to actually have success in doing that? Well, the reason, let me tell you, is in the beginning, it's not easy to reprogram your brain. Right now, whatever it is you're used to doing, it's like this 10-lane superhighway through your brain, whatever your unconscious habit that you're doing. Say you have like a donut for breakfast every morning. I certainly hope you don't, but if you do, okay, we'll help you move beyond it. If you have a donut for breakfast every morning and you've been doing that for 10 years, that is like, I don't know, 15-lane superhighway in your brain of that habit. You try to change that, and every time you do a new behavior that you want, you're starting out with this little tiny footpath through the woods that you can barely see because there's all these dead leaves on top of it. So you're competing, that little footpath with the dead leaves on top of it is competing with the 15-lane superhighway. Which way do you think your brain wants to go? It's a lot easier to go down the superhighway than the little footpath in the woods. Okay, so there's this really great saying that I got from Brian Johnson, who's another really awesome guy on the personal development front. I think he's outstanding, and I think you should probably go check him out too at I think his website is brianjohnson.me. Amazing guy, love Brian. One of the things I got from him was when you're trying to change a habit, at first it's going to be unbearable. Yeah, it doesn't sound fun, does it? You are not going to want to do the new behavior. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to want to do it. Your brain's going to be like, hey, can we go do that other thing we're used to doing? Because that just feels a lot better. So knowing that up front, it's hard. You've got to be prepared. It's not going to feel good in the beginning. Unbearable. But you stick with it, guess what? It goes from being unbearable to just being uncomfortable. And hey, uncomfortable is not fun, but uncomfortable is a lot better than unbearable, right? So you get through unbearable, and it might even not last that long. I don't have any hardcore statistics on how long unbearable lasts for, but if you're prepared for unbearable and you push through unbearable, then you go to uncomfortable. And uncomfortable isn't fun, but it feels a lot better than unbearable, so it's starting to get easier already. You ride it out through uncomfortable and you become unstoppable. And unstoppable sounds fun, doesn't it? There is your reward. You grit it out a little bit in the beginning. Once you have a solid new habit and you've got that new pathway in your brain, you are golden. You are golden forever. You become unstoppable, literally. There's actually a book on habits called Superhuman by Habit, which is a pretty cool title. And that's literally what is possible if you train your brain right. It's pretty exciting, right? So why? Why are we not out there doing this stuff? It's because we have to get through unbearable first, and we have to be willing to get through unbearable. So change is hard in the beginning. We need to acknowledge that. We need to commit. You have to commit. There's no wussy. There's no room for wussy in this stuff. You have to commit. If you can't commit to something, you're not going to make it through unbearable, right? One of the reasons you want to commit, though, is there was some research from Duke University. They said 40% of what you do every day isn't a decision, it's a habit. So basically 40% of the time we're on autopilot just doing that stuff we're used to doing without thinking about it. Wouldn't you love it if all that stuff you're doing on autopilot is the stuff that's good for you, instead of those things that are working against what you want to achieve? Yeah. Wouldn't that be amazing? And so that's what happens in the end. once we work through unbearable, uncomfortable, and we get to unstoppable, we don't need willpower anymore once we get to unstoppable. You don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to force yourself to do it anymore. It's a breeze. It's easy. Life becomes so much less of a struggle. That sounds great, right? So, a little bit later, I'm going to walk you through exactly how we can do that with specific habits, so you can see what that looks like. But one thing I want to talk about first is keystone habits. And what those are habits that just, for whatever reason, they create this like chain reaction in your life. It triggers, one little habit can create widespread change in like a whole bunch of seemingly unrelated areas. And the interesting thing is that one of those keystone habits is exercise, which, since I'm a personal trainer, that's pretty darn exciting, right? And so what that means is people who exercise even like sort of infrequently, like maybe even once a week, they found, they start eating better, they use their credit cards less. There's a whole list and it's just escaping my mind, but they smoke less, they get to work earlier, just all kinds of great stuff starts happening, like going better for them in their life, and it's not because they only made the one conscious change to exercise more, and just by making that one change, it triggered this chain reaction. So that's another interesting thing is that we don't have to literally go back and reprogram every single thing we want to change. Is if we get a few of these keystone habits going, then it triggers something, and as far as I know, no one's actually figured out why or how this happens, but it actually just creates like a cascade effect where you rock a few of these keystone habits and it just creates this ripple effect through your whole life and everything is going better for you. Sounds pretty great, right? Other keystone habits are keeping a food journal. We actually know that people who just write down what they eat, I'm not even talking about like adding up the calories and all that kind of stuff, I'm not into that. Just writing it down and just bringing more awareness to what you're eating without trying to do any kind of number crunching about it or anything. That I believe the statistic is that people who do that lose twice as much weight as people who are not keeping a food journal. So that's a keystone habit. Planning your day. So just taking some time, either the night before, the morning of. I actually sit down on Sundays and plan out my whole week in advance, which is pretty cool. If I ever skip that, man, life is not good. I'm telling you, I love that. And I'll probably talk about that more in another video I do. But so planning your day and having daily routines like morning routines and evening routines, which is something I'm sure I'll probably talk about as well. And meditating, which I know I'm going to definitely talk about at some point because I'm really into the meditation thing. I think it's so important. So those are all some of those keystone habits that you start doing those things and it creates that like whoosh, cascade positive effect in your whole life. So I've kind of thrown some more sort of theory at you, but let's get to the nitty gritty of this. Like you're sitting there going, come on, okay, I want to actually know how to make a change in my life. Let's go. All right, I hear you. So let's go with losing weight because that's got to be the number one ever, and certainly one of the most common goals clients come to me with, losing weight. So yeah, I already sort of touched on this in the beginning, you know, just a really general goal. Even if you say, I want to lose 20 pounds by September the 8th because it's my cousin Ginny's wedding or whatever. That's getting a little bit more specific in terms of what your exact goal is and when you would like to. I guess it probably does qualify as a SMART goal, but in terms of habits and actually affecting change, it still pretty much sucks because it doesn't tell you anything about how you're going to achieve it. To be effective, what you need is something that gives you a framework of clear daily actions that you need to take, that you can create habits around that are going to lead to your eventual success. Because the other thing about losing weight as a goal, that's what we call an outcome goal. I want to lose X number of pounds. That's an outcome that we want to see in our life, right? And outcome goals don't work. What does work is what's called a process goal. And what a process goal is how are you going to lose the weight? So a process goal is more like, I'm going to walk 30 minutes every day. That's a process goal. And that's a habit goal. But it might be too big of a habit goal for somebody. 30 minutes could be really overwhelming, depending where you're at. Like, that's kind of one of my personal things, is walk 30 minutes at least a day. But for me, I'm used to walking a lot. That's one of my primary forms of transportation, so it's not a biggie. If you're really sedentary right now and you set yourself up, I'm gonna walk 30 minutes every day, that's too much right off the bat, and your brain's gonna freak out, and you're probably not gonna get anywhere. So what you can do is, if losing weight is your goal, you can probably brainstorm like dozens of specific habits that could support that goal. Dozens, hundreds, like there's thousands really. And so what I'm getting at with a habit is a small daily action. So a habit is not, I'm going to eat healthier. That's not a habit. It's kind of like an overarching goal, but one little habit that you can pull from that is, I'm going to eat half a cup of carrot sticks every day at lunchtime. And you're thinking, that doesn't sound too exciting. How's that going to change my life? It can. It really can, actually. We minimize the power of the small to create massive change in our life. We minimize it. And that is the big reason why we never achieve our goals. We minimize the power of those baby step actions. And we're trying to always reach for the big thing that looks so amazing, so flamboyant. Woohoo, I rocked that big ass thing. And occasionally that works in life, occasionally, but we know how many of us have like been successful in creating change in the short term for like just a little while, maybe a week, a month, even a quarter of the year, and then we fall off the wagon again, right? Because it just doesn't stick. The little habits are golden, okay? Because what you are going to do is you're just going to pick one to three of these little mini habits, and you're going to rock the heck out of them. You're going to work them for all you've got. Because if it's stuff you haven't done in the past that you're wanting to do now, remember, it's going to be unbearable in the beginning. So you don't want to take on 10 of these at once. You are reprogramming your brain. Remember, big superhighway to what you're doing right now, a little tiny footpath there's not, the little footpath isn't even there yet until you start. So let's not make it even worse. You know, the first time you try this, just pick one thing. I have a lot of fun doing this, you can probably tell. So now I can probably handle like 3 of these at once, unless my life is like going insane. But let's go back to carrot sticks. Even like, that sounds so simple. I mean, who could not eat? I mean, unless you're allergic to carrot. I don't know what. That's one thing I've never heard anybody being allergic to. I've heard of people being allergic to just about anything. Sorry if you're allergic to carrots, but I don't know too many people who would find it that hard, like literally, physically, or emotionally, to eat a half a cup of carrot sticks. And yet most people don't actually do it. Because we're not in the habit. And if you think about it, that seems like really simple. How hard can it be to eat half a cup of carrot sticks at lunchtime? Really? I mean, come on. It's not hard. But why don't we do it? And that's a tiny little goal, right? And yet, a lot of us aren't able to follow through with it. And even with a tiny little goal like that, if you think about it, there's other background stuff that has to happen so that you're successful, right? Like you might have to change your shopping habits. So that little tiny goal means, now I gotta buy a 5-pound bag of carrots on my weekly grocery trip, so I have carrots to last me all week so I can eat them. And you've got a plan to prepare them, like if you're packing a lunch for work or whatever. So then actually another little mini habit to support that other one is you got to prep those carrot sticks. So maybe that's when I'm cleaning up the kitchen after dinner, I'm going to cut up those carrot sticks. So you have to tie this stuff all together. But that's a really good process goal. That's something you can measure. It's so clear, it's so specific, and you know whether you did it. And it's not a hard win. You're not working out for an hour, right? But you'd be surprised if this is a really new behavior for you. It's still going to be hard, a lot harder than you think to do it. That's why you really only want to pick one to three at a time of these little tiny guys, so you can really nail them. And so then you can work through any of these little process issues, that supportive behaviors you need to do around them. And so you're going to write them down, you're going to be so clear, and then you can give yourself reminders, you can put all kinds of alarms on your phone, whatever works for you so that you can actually do this. And I'm going to show you at the end, there's a really fun little app that I've started using, and I really like it. It's a little habit tracker, so that adds a little bit of a fun, makes it into a bit of a game, I find. So I'm going to share that tool with you really shortly. So 1 to 3 mini habits. You're focusing on the process goals, not the outcome. So those little behaviors that are going to get you to your goal. The other thing that's really key here if you want to be successful is you got to do what's called anchoring your habits. So, and this can really make or break it, but anchoring means you tie that new behavior to an existing behavior that you already do. So, and the thing here is though, so basically we're saying you're going to tie it to a habit. Something you do consistently already is basically a habit. So you want to anchor the new thing to something that's already really firmly a part of your day. So some examples of that might be, I'm going to drink 8 ounces of water after I finish my first morning coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, you are not going to miss your morning coffee, right? That's an ingrained behavior. So if you never and you have no trouble with that. It's not hard to remember our coffee, right? So that's a really good one if you're trying to drink more water. Another one could be I'm going to walk 15 minutes right after I finish eating my lunch at work. I'm going to get up and I'm going to get out the door and I'm going to walk for 15 minutes. So you see how that works? It's called anchoring because you're tying the new behavior to something you already do, so that when you do the thing you're used to doing, it triggers you to do the new thing. It really helps a lot. It's going to help you be a lot more successful in reaching that, in solidifying that habit in your brain and remembering to do it. It's really interesting because right now I'm trying to start meditating in the evening, and I've been a really consistent meditator in the morning for 3 years. And that is ingrained behavior in me. I get up out of bed, I go to the bathroom, my behind is on my meditation cushion right after that, and I just go for 15 minutes in the morning. That one, no resistance. Trying to do it in the evening, though, is proven a little more challenging for me than I expected, because I'm used to doing the actual behavior, meditating, and I don't. So, if I can do it in the morning, why can't I do it in the evening? It's because I don't have a firm anchor. I know that, bad me. I don't have a firm anchor for my evening meditation because my evening routine isn't quite as, what's the word I'm looking for? Formalized, as my morning routine is more formalized. And so it's easier. So I probably do need to formalize my evening routine a little bit, and I need an anchor for my evening meditation. So even though the behavior itself is not hard for me, trying to do it at a specific time is. So there's all kinds of little innuendos to this stuff that you can work through. The other question we might be having is, okay, so you're talking about starting good habits. How do I break bad habits if I know I have a bad habit and I with something I know I want to stop doing? So there's 2 things here. You want to identify exactly what it is you want to stop doing. And then 2, you want to make a plan for what you want to start doing instead. So, and I think of bad habits sort of in 2 categories, and I may be right or wrong in this. I don't know. It's just my own way of thinking, but I think of them as the first ones are routine bad habits. So it's something that you do at a regular time every day. Say you're always having a cup of coffee with sugar and a cookie at work every afternoon at 3 p.m. That's a routine bad habit. So the good news about routine bad habits is they can be easier to break because you kind of forewarned. You know exactly when you're going to do that, right? At 3 p.m. at work. So you can be a little more prepared. You're definitely going to still feel resistance. You're going to have that unbearable when oh, poor me, I'm not having my coffee and donut anymore. When all my coworkers want me to have coffee and donuts with them. Pity party. You can do it. You're stronger than the donut. So what you want to do is figure out what are you going to do instead, right? And plan. I don't know what you like. There must be something healthy that you like instead. Like, I want to say apple and almond butter, but if you hate almond butter, then that doesn't work for you. But pick something healthy that you enjoy. Cashews. Oh my God, cashews are delicious and they're healthy. Anyway, find something substitute, take it with you to work. Have it ready to go at 3 p.m. So, you can alter your environment. If you have a stash of like candy in your desk, like get rid of that. Make it easy on yourself to do the right thing. Keep a stash of the good stuff, ditch the bad stuff, and be prepared for all those, objections, the coworkers. Oh, come on, don't be a stick in the mud. Oh, who wants to be healthy? That's no fun. You want to be healthy. You can tell them that. I want to be healthy. Yeah, so that one, like I said, is still going to be hard, but because it's like concrete around when and where you're doing it, it can be easier to set yourself up for success. The other kind of bad habits that are harder is like emotional overeating, that kind of thing, where it's like you just get triggered randomly. It could come on at any time, and then you just like go for the cookies or I don't know, whatever it is that you reach for. So you might think, oh, how do I plan for that? Because that's like, I don't know when it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It is. But what has been shown to be successful is that you identify it as a problem. Oh, I know, like, I eat donuts when I'm stressed. I know, And then you make what's called an if-then plan. That's an actual term in like the psychological literature, an if-then plan. So you say, okay, if I'm triggered, so-and-so ticked me off so bad and now I'm freaked and I want to eat donuts. So if I want to eat donuts, then I'm going to do X. And put it on your fridge, put it on your phone, put it in your pocket, like put that baby everywhere. And the then thing has to be something that appeals to you, so I can't make it up for you. If it was me, like, because exercise makes me feel so much better, I'd be like, I'm out the door. I'm going to go for a walk. If I'm emotionally triggered by something, out the door I go, or maybe I go up into my exercise studio and work it out a little. Or maybe if I'm just like, it's like, I'm less wound up and I'm more like sad. Maybe I just need to sit down with a cup of like nice hot herbal tea. These are things that make me feel better, but I don't know what makes you feel better. That's a healthy choice. You have to identify those. But make it really clear, make it really concrete, make it something you can totally do under any circumstances, because it has to be something you can use at any time. But you'd be surprised if you make it really clear and you keep doing it, it's going to work. Are you going to screw up and fall off the wagon with any of this stuff, with the carrot sticks, with the donut at work? Probably. Like, we're not robots. So having a plan makes it like way more likely you're going to succeed, but are you going to rock it out of the park 100% of the time. I doubt it. I don't know anybody who has. So if you fall down and you miss a day with your new habit, or you succumb to the bad habit, like, don't beat the crap out of yourself, please. Like, it happens to everybody. Everybody, happens to me all the time. Because our brain's a little like, all that electrical energy in your brain, it wants to go down the superhighway. It's so much easier than the little footpath. So those times when it does pick the superhighway, just be a little gentle with yourself, but then get right back to it. Don't waste time beating yourself up. Get right back to it. And that's why I really like tracking, because it can really help you show how successful that you've been. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to have another phone here. I'm going to try and hold up and see. I don't know whether this is going to work. You can sort of see this on the screen a little bit, I hope. So this is an app that I use. It's called Loop Habit Tracker. And what it does, it's really easy, because I don't use anything that's not totally straightforward technologically, because I'm not good at technology at all, and I don't like messing around with technology. I don't even like using like an iPod or anything. That's how lazy I am with technology. Give me a CD. Anyway, so you can put a whole list of habits in there but like I said, only start with 1 to 3. I have a longer list because I have some of them are much more ingrained, and so it's kind of a bit more of a reminder checklist than some of them are more ones that I'm really still building from the footpath. So, but the fun thing with this one is, is that it does stuff for you as you go along. There's like, it'll make little graphs and show you over time how successful you've been with the habit, and charts and stuff. So it does that for each little habit, and you just have to like tap on it. It's really easy. It's totally free. I think it works on like every device. I'll actually put a link to the app on the comments after I'm done this video, so that you can find it. But you just in Google Play, if you put in Loop Habit Tracker, you will get it. And it's a really great way to keep yourself on track when you're starting with these little mini habits. Another great thing about these habits being so little is, one thing that I learned from Brendan Burchard, who's like one of the leading high performance coaches in the world. I think he might be the #1. And he's coming out with a new book this year that's called High Performance Habits, and you bet I'm going to be all over that baby, because I want to know exactly what he says in there. But he is all about the power of habit as well. Obviously, he wrote a book about it. But what he says is the #1 predictor of success in anything that you're trying to do in life is, and this is a research that he's done, is, and it surprised him, was confidence in your ability to achieve your goal regardless of the obstacles that are going to be in your way. Confidence in your ability to achieve your goal regardless of the obstacles. So you can see why a little goal works a lot better. Like, can you feel confident that you could eat half a cup of carrot sticks at lunchtime? I hope so. Unless you really hate carrot sticks, pick a different vegetable then, okay? But I love carrots, so I eat carrot sticks. I don't know anybody who's going to think, oh my God, I can never do that, right? It's realistic, it's doable, it's totally achievable. It's pretty easy once you get in the groove of it. It's just making it a habit. So, but that's where that confidence thing is so important, because if you, lose 20 pounds, especially if you've tried to do it for the last 15 years, who feels confident they can do it? So your belief in your ability to change is important, and then your confidence that you can achieve the actual goal that you've set. So these little habits, it's so much easier to feel confident. I can drink a glass of water when I get to bed in the morning. or I can meditate for 15 minutes. I mean, 15 might be too long for you if you've never meditated before, but you could take 2 minutes. We'll talk about meditation later, trust me, we're going to talk about meditation. Anyway, confidence, small, small, small habits. Keep track of them, and if you miss a day, you're going to miss a day. Don't miss 2 days in a row. Don't miss 2 days in a row. The more days you go where you miss a habit, it's not good, because you're basically starting over every time. You miss like 3, 4, 5 days of a new habit you're starting to try and form. You're right back to the beginning. Superhighway, little footpath. You got to keep walking the footpath regularly to get it into a bigger road. So here's the thing: if you do, you're gonna miss it, right? Because either you're just gonna forget, or like something's gonna happen, right? Oh, I forgot my carrot sticks. So next day, make that a big priority. Make it a big priority. Make it like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, priority. Okay. The more consistent you can be, the better. And then you track it on the app. Once you see. And I don't know, everybody's like, how long does it take to form a habit? I don't know. No one really knows. I'm telling you, no one really. I've read a lot of stuff about habits, no one really knows. Like that 28 days or whatever it is, it's not. It's kind of crap. It can vary. I think I read something, it's like, you know, it can take between 20 and 400 days to get a new habit solidified. Like it doesn't matter what the specifics are. It's huge. It's a huge range. So it depends on the habit itself. It depends on the person itself. It depends how consistent you're being. So what I say is keep rocking it, and like you want to see an endless string of check marks on that app, and you'll know when it's a habit. You know why? Because you don't have to think about it anymore. It's not unbearable. It's not uncomfortable. You are unstoppable. Unstoppable with those carrot sticks or your 15 minutes of meditation or whatever the heck it is you're trying to do. When you don't have to think about it anymore and you just do it and it feels totally natural. Congratulations! It's a habit. Now go pick another one. Get going. Yeah. And you just knock them out one by one. But imagine if you just start with one now. And once you've done the first 1 or 2, then you can start going 2 or 3 at a time. But can you imagine? Even if it takes you like 3 months, if you had like 10 to 12 solid, new, healthy habits that were totally ingrained by the end of the year, you know how much better you're going to feel? A lot. And you're going to gain so much confidence every time you add another one in. Once you're rocking the carrot sticks, and then you move on, and you do 2 more, and you bang them out, and you'll learn how to be more consistent. You'll learn. Because you know what? You learn how to push past that unbearable. Because none of us like unbearable. We all like warm, fuzzy, comfy pajamas, slippers, blankies. You know, we want to be comfortable. Humans want to be comfortable. And that keeps us locked in a box, unfortunately. Because the only way to create change is through discomfort. I'm sorry to have to tell you that. Because I hate, you know what? Doing this video today, holy, talk about discomfort. I'm like, whoa. So I hope you're enjoying it, because yeah, I'm outside of my comfort zone right now, but I really want to bring this information to you guys, and I really want to help you rock it, and I believe in it. And so here I am pushing past my comfort zone to do this video for you. And we have to be willing to be uncomfortable to create change in our lives. You can't create change without discomfort. It's impossible, because you're comfortable with what you're doing now. Anything that you're trying to change is different, and it does feel uncomfortable. Be willing to be uncomfortable. It's okay. You can do it. You're a warrior. You are, even if you think you're a wussy pants, because I'm a wussy pants, but I'm still a warrior. And push past that. Every time you push past unbearable, you're going to reinforce that you can do it. And you're going to be like, whoa, I rocked it. And then the next time unbearable isn't quite so unbearable, and you have that confidence, the confidence to achieve your goal regardless of the obstacle. You know you're going to do it next time. You know you can push past unbearable. So pick something real small that feels pretty easy for the first one, your first little mini habit. Rock it. And then you're just building momentum. The next one will be easier, the next one will be easier, the next one will be easier. You get more confidence. And you're starting to feel better too, because you're rocking 3, 4, 5 new awesome health and fitnessy habits that are making your life way better. And then that keystone habit thing kicks in. Like you start adding some exercise and movement habits into your life. And remember what I said, that's a keystone habit. Suddenly you're like, who understands how this works? You're moving more and you start charging less stuff on your credit cards. That's what the research shows. Who knows how that works? But it's triggering widespread change. So it's like the dominoes just start falling faster and faster and faster. And you're going to build more and more momentum. So just start one little habit. And if you need help, that's why I'm here. Okay? You can leave comments with this video. You can private message me. You can email me at yourfitnessgroove@gmail.com. I'll be happy to respond to your questions. There's just a couple things I want to let you guys know before I finish my little broadcast and sign off here. So I hope you got some value out of this. I'm really trying to bring you value here. So if there's something I missed, something you're not clear on, you want to know more, just let me know what I need to do to help you out. But a couple quick things. I'm really excited. I'm going to be doing a sleep challenge starting on, January the 15th. January the 15th, that's this Sunday until the 21st. So a full week. It's going to be like an email list sign-up challenge where we are going to rock the sleep habit by committing to getting 8 hours of sleep every night for an entire week. Yes, we are. Because you know why? I want you to find out how good you feel when you sleep for 8 hours a night for a week. Because, I'll sleep when I'm dead. It's like, that's so 1992, people. Come on. I'm going to be writing and talking a lot about sleep. I'm going to be doing my Facebook Live next Tuesday. These are going to happen every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So next week, it's all about sleep. And I don't care if you think you don't need any more sleep or what. You do. It's important. It affects every aspect of your health, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, like everything, okay? So join me next week, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll be talking about here. I'm going to add the link below in the comments for this video where you can sign up for my sleep challenge, and I will be sending out a couple of emails prior to the week to help you. So probably Thursday or Friday this week I'll be sending out a couple of emails just helping you get prepared for your sleep challenge, get your head around committing to it and how to make it easier for yourself. And then every day during the sleep challenge you're going to be getting a daily email showing you or giving you some support in how to keep rocking that 8 hours of sleep habit, and hopefully you can keep going after that, because you're not going to be all the way to unstoppable with sleep after just a week. But what I want for you is to experience what that feels like. 8 hours for 7 days straight. How many of us do that anymore? We don't. And I've been actually, I'm pretty good about my sleep, but I haven't been for the last while, so this is going to get me back on track too. I'm very excited about that. The other thing, before we go, I just want to let you know I'm doing a New Year's special right now. So if you're thinking, yeah, I could use some help, I'd love to find out, Karen, how can I work with you one-on-one? Absolutely. I'm doing a great special right now. So you can either get, I have a 5-session package, which is $335, which also includes a 90-minute fitness assessment. And for my next 5 clients, that package will be getting an extra session for free. So you're getting 6 sessions for the price of the 5 package. Or you can get 12 sessions for the price of 10, and that package is $580. And that also includes the 90-minute fitness assessment, and this is the showstopper. Both of those, special bonus, you get to go grocery shopping with me for an hour. Yep. So this is obviously for folks in Hamilton. Sorry, I can't help you if you're anywhere else, but if you have friends in Hamilton, I can help them. So, and this grocery store tour, I normally only give this to my clients who sign up for a 20-session package with me. Okay, so you can get it with either the 5 or the 10-session package for this special, the next 5 new clients I have, okay? And so that's 6 for the price of 5, or 12 sessions for the price of 10, plus the free bonus grocery store tour. Wouldn't you love to take me to the grocery store with you? Okay, I think that's everything that I have to say for now, which is pretty amazing because I've gone on for quite a while. So please, any questions about habits, how to rock those little goals, keystones, breaking bad habits, leave them for me in the comments. Because you know what, if I get enough questions about any... Sorry about that, folks, I don't know what happened. There we go, technology blip. I made it almost to the end without a techno blip. Sorry. Anyways, I'm back. Yep, questions, anything, comments, leave them below. Email me yourfitnessgroove@gmail.com. Direct message me. I don't know. Okay, my phone's having a hissy fit. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to sign off. We're all done. Catch you next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern here. Again, we're going to rock the sleep habit together. All right? Thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it. And see you next week. Bye.